for the leg spinner.
Leg stump finds a gap. Can he hit the stumps? Oh, I reckon he was out. That'll do.
Oh, that is an absolutely sensational piece of fielding from Claire Kosky at the back.
Death indoor cricket, here he is.
And there it is! He's entered the stats straight away!
Fraser McGurk cuts and he's away with a boundary. Nice start to his domestic 50-over career.
That's a great piece of fielding.
Got him! Beauty! One for the leg spinner.
Leg stump finds a gap. Can he hit the stumps? Oh, I reckon he was out. That'll do.
Oh, that is an absolutely sensational piece of fielding from Claire Kosky at the back.
Death indoor cricket, here he is.
And there it is! He's entered the stats straight away!
Fraser McGurk cuts and he's away with a boundary. Nice start to his domestic 50-over career.
That's a great piece of fielding.
Got him! Beauty! One for the leg spinner.
Leg stump finds a gap. Can he hit the stumps? Oh, I reckon he was out. That'll do.
Oh, that is an absolutely sensational piece of fielding from Claire Kosky at the back.
Death indoor cricket, here he is.
And there it is! He's entered the stats straight away!
Fraser McGurk cuts and he's away with a boundary. Nice start to his domestic 50-over career.
That's a great piece of fielding.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Casey Stadium where the finals of the 2022 Indoor Cricket National Championships continue. I'm Cameron Walter alongside Stephen Mogg, and this is the Open Men's Minors semi-final between New South Wales and Victoria. It's a sudden death game here in finals indoor cricket. Both these sides 1-1 in the encounters during the week. Moggy, what do you think? What's in store?
Oh, look, it's you know, whatever happens during the week, when we start again on the Friday, it's just a new competition. The top 4 teams are here. Any team can really win on their day. They've had a chance to get used to the surrounds and the courts and everything that goes on. They've played each other, so they have a little bit of inside information. So, look, I'm looking forward to a cracking day's cricket.
Victoria, of course, on their home ground. You think that gives them any advantage?
I think earlier in the week it definitely would. I'm sure they would have trained here quite a few times leading into the tournament. But, you know, New South Wales have played quite a few games on these courts now and be fairly familiar with it. Be interesting to see if there's much support for the Victorian team being the home state.
Indeed. Now, as I mentioned, this is sudden death indoor cricket. So the loser of this match, well, their tournament is over. The winner will advance to the major semi-final. They will take on whoever loses the major semi, which is between Queensland and ACT. We'll keep you up to date with that score throughout this match. And that preliminary final will take place later tonight. One of many games we're bringing you live from Casey Stadium here in Victoria. So do stay with us throughout the coverage. Now, Victoria, runners-up the last time we were here, the Open Men's Grand Final against Queensland. Seems like an eon ago, Moggy.
It has been a while, that's for sure. What is it, 3 years we're back? So,
yeah.
Look, I know me as a player and everyone else has missed it, so I'm just so happy that it's back. Obviously, we've had a few complications, but I'm sure everyone out here is enjoying it again and just loving, like, it's just a different level of cricket. You know, we might play our sort of state-based Super League competitions, but this is just that step up, and it's just, I love being involved in nationals as a spectator, as a player, and lucky enough to be commentating here, getting some of the best seats in the house today.
Always. And you can, of course, check out your local indoor cricket centre on play.cricket.com.au or get set for the coming summer. It's going to be a big summer, Moggy. The T20 World Cup will be here in Australia. We are the defending champions. And, of course, alongside the T20 World Cup, the Indoor Cricket World Cup coming up this year as well. And we will be naming the Australian sides out of this tournament to defend those World Cups on home soil later this year.
Yeah, no, and we've as Australia, we've had a fantastic tradition in the sport, and we've won pretty much all the World Cups on offer in the Opens division. So, again, it's been a bit of a long break. So, it'd be interesting to see how some of the other countries come here and perform. But, again, we're playing at home. These guys that'll be selected in these teams have been playing on these courts all week, so they'll be fairly familiar with it. So I'm looking forward to that as well. But I think we're going to get through today first and then tomorrow.
Yep. These finals games, particularly when they're tight ones, they certainly go forever. So there's a lot of water to go under the bridge before we come up to naming a side and, of course, the World Cup. So as you can see on your screen, Victoria, they are batting first, having won the toss. And Jai Lamaya and Kieran Perkins are the opening batters for Victoria. My understanding is Jai came into the side, I believe replaced Jared Armitage, in the squad that is. I'm not sure at what stage of the game that was, but here he is opening for his state in a final at Indoor Cricket Nationals.
Well, yeah, I saw the name and I thought, hang on, he's got a little bit younger since I've seen him last. So, look, he looks like I have no idea of his age, but he looks like a young fella. So there'll be a fair bit of pressure out here for him and for all teams, I think the key here is to start well. Be nice and consistent. Bowling team New South Wales will be looking for a wicket early. Victoria just be looking to build a score, maybe 5 or 6 with no chances in the first over will be important.
Now the ball is in the hands of Webb, who will start the match for New South Wales. Perkins is on strike. The umpire for the match is Andrew Potts. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Short and wide. Perkins not getting across to that. And it's a dot ball.
Yeah, a bit of a loosener from Webb. I think he would have liked to have been a little bit fuller than he was there.
Fuller this time, but it is a wide down the leg side.
Yeah, he got a fair bit of swing into the right-hand batter. Just started that on the wrong line, and I guess that's the advantage of being a little bit fuller. The ball will swing a little bit more as well.
That's a great rock, that is. Right on the legs there of Perkins. Couldn't get it away.
There was another in-swing delivery, but he just got his line right there. So, yeah, that's the perfect ball there. I mean, that one looked a little bit quicker than the previous two as well.
Chance at the top. The throw was high. I think a direct hit there would have been interesting, Rocky.
Yeah, it would. Kieran Perkins has had to get out the big dive to try and make his ground. But, yeah, direct hit would have been interesting. But, it's the first over of the game. I'm sure both teams are a little bit nervous. So just sort of got to get those nerves to settle.
Lamaya on strike now for the first delivery. His first delivery, I should say. Starts with a single.
Made nice contact with that. Obviously, probably would have liked to put it up into a net. But at the same time, still made good contact. Got in behind the ball nicely. That'll be a settler for him.
Final ball of the first over. Webb taking his time. It's into the leg side. It's a chance. A little fumble from the keeper. It was a great piece of fielding down there in the front court. And an interesting start to this minor semi-final. 4 runs from it. And just take a look at this highlight. Great piece of fielding. If that had stuck in the hands of the keeper, that would have been quite tight.
Yeah, look, I think he probably would have been out there. Just probably didn't get up over it enough. A little bit flat. Good leg side fielding there to get the service right next to the stumps. Just a little bit of a fumble. Again, just the nerves maybe getting the better of a few here. But I think both teams will be fairly happy with that start. You know, Victorians just moving the score on to 4.
Burke is the bowler. Wonderful shot from Lamaya. 2 runs. We'll quickly take you through the 2 sides. New South Wales, Mitch Hines, Greg Connor, Ash Patterson, Jaden Simmons, Jared Burke, AJ Isherwood, Luke Webb and Logan Whitelaw are the 8 men in this match. Take us through Victoria, Moggy.
Justin Perkins, Jai Lemire, Brad Jones, Lance McDougall, Kieran Perkins, Clive Rose, Lachlan King and Jonathan Desario. I'm going to get some pronunciation wrong here today. A little bit flat, good call early. It's been an interesting start here to this over. Some good contact and some good calling. I think that's the key at this level. You've just got to call well.
It's a good feat there from Lamaya. Probably didn't get that where he wanted to get it, but still in the end, a relatively safe single.
Yeah, had to pull out the big dive, but in the end he was safe. Very wristy player, actually. Like, he just seems to roll his wrists over the top of the ball quite nicely. The key is he waits for it to come under his eyes to hit the ball. Nice little paddle by Perkins. Just a little bit straight down on the leg side. At that pace, it's pretty easy pickings for a batter of Perkins' quality. That one just looks like it bit in the surface a little bit. And that's something I've noticed over, been watching from home on the live stream, which has been fantastic by Cricket Australia. Being away back home in Brisbane, and I've been able to sort of keep engaged throughout the whole week. And, I think length's really important here. If you get your length a little bit wrong, it just sits up nicely, makes it pretty easy for the batter. But if you get it right, there's a little bit of purchase. So if you're rolling your fingers across the ball, I've seen quite a few of the spinners doing quite well this week as well.
Now, Perkins having quite a tournament with the bat. He's the leading run scorer for Victoria with 116 runs to his name. Lamaya 73, so still fairly handy with the bat, and not a bad combination to open. The New South Wales captain Mitch Hines will bowl the second over. Well kept off the net. Safe shot from Kieran Perkins.
Yeah, I think he's a little frustrated that he didn't find the net there. That was probably a bread and butter shot. But he still made good contact. The score's moving along to 11. Nice little bit of shape coming around the wicket there. Just brings the ball into that area on the leg side.
That's twice that Lamaya sort of struggled with balls in that area, so it's obvious that they'll be targeting that.
Yeah, I think so.
This time, he moved right across to the leg side and played it on the offside. You can see where he really wants to play the ball. He was quickly in a position to do so.
Yeah, he's got really quick feet as well, and he's got himself in a good position there. As the bowler, Hines, changes to over the wicket. Oh, a little bit lazy on the running there. Could have created half a chance. Looks like a fairly regulation field here by New South Wales. We just see the offside sweeper just a little deeper than perhaps normal. Wondering if that's an expectation of how these two batter or it's part of the plan.
Lots of width, and Maya reaching right across there from, again, a wide stance on the leg side, but made good contact with it and got through for 2.
Yeah, this has been a productive over for the Vics. Moving the score to 17 with 1 ball left in the over. They'll be fairly happy with where they're at.
Early call of no. Safe call that was. Finished with a dot. The score's on 17 after 3 overs. Reasonable position for Victoria to be in. What sort of score do you think they're looking for? A team total.
I think 80. 80 is going to be a fairly competitive score, especially batting first. Always batting second. You get the scoreboard pressure. You try and block it out, but you're always looking up there to see what's going on. So I think 80 will be a fairly competitive score. Obviously, they'd like a few more to make it a little bit easier. I think the Vics are probably batting a little conservatively at the moment. I think they understand that they don't give easy wickets away and they can just keep building a score. It takes a bit of the bite out of the attack as well.
AJ Isherwood to bowl the final over. Starts with a full and wide delivery, and it's a fair delivery.
Move on to a third ball here. So this is an opportunity for the New South Wales guys to take a wicket. Oh, what a shot.
Great cricket.
That was a lovely shot. Again, he just waits. Waits so well, hits the balls right under his eyes. That's textbook indoor cricket.
Chance here.
Oh, another
Good response.
Yeah.
Early call.
Yeah, it was another good call. And again, this is the conservative batting by the Vics, and I think it's working well for them. And this is a slightly unconventional bowling action here. The ball seems to skid through. It's like it's a lower release. I mean, he's only a shorter fellow compared to a few of the other guys, but the ball seems to be skidding through a little bit. But the Vics are adjusting so far. 21 with 2 balls remaining in this skin. It's a nice shot again. Just the single, but it just keeps building the score. So if we are looking at a score of about 80, at this stage the Vics are on par with 1 ball to come.
Kieran Perkins not ready, so makes the bowler start again. And finishes with a strong shot. Another 2 runs to the total. 24-run opening partnership for Victoria. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, we're coming to you live from Casey Stadium here in Victoria. It's the Indoor Cricket National Championships final series. And this is the minor semi-final between Victoria and New South Wales. I'm Cameron Walter, and with me is Stephen Mogg. Interesting start. Now, let's have a look at the previous encounters between these two sides. The first game saw Victoria convincing winners, 114 to 69. The second match, however, New South Wales the victors. Much closer affair, but still 18 runs in it. New South Wales 99 to Victoria 81. So they won all. What's interesting to me there is there's quite a diverse range of scores. So it just shows that anything can happen in this final. It's difficult to set a score because we have no idea what's in store. It could be 100 plus game, could be 99, it could be 81. Who knows?
I think the next skin or two will determine that.
Burke is bowling his second over.
Nice shot.
And Justin Perkins starts with a wire.
The thing to note is in the previous 2 games, the Vic opening pair, it's been the same opening pair both times. The first game they hit 31, and the game that they lost they only hit 10. So 24 is a mid-range score. Nice shot. Just rock back and just paddle that one nicely for 2.
Yeah, Jonathan De Rosario there. Strong start for both of these batters in the second pair. The other interesting thing, Moggy, about the other 2 encounters is that in both of those games, New South Wales batted first. So this is the first time in this tournament between these two sides that Victoria have set rather than chased.
Yeah, look, it's a big game. Finals, scoreboard pressure. Unless there was a specific plan, I'd always like to bat in these big games just to get out there and get that score on the board. It's interesting to note that the New South Wales guys are taking the pace off the ball a fair bit in this first couple of pairs.
It's fumbled into the net for 2. The other interesting thing, Moggy, is not a lot of noise out there. It's a pretty quiet, sort of calm approach at the moment from New South Wales.
Yeah, I'm thinking that. Even the crowd to the left of us here is fairly quiet. We're just seeing the Vic bench start to create a bit of noise. They did at the end of that skin, the first skin there as well. So yeah, surprised. It's just, I think everyone here is just waiting for something to happen at the moment, and it just seems like the game's just going through its motions. And I think if New South Wales aren't careful, the game might get away from them. They probably need someone to sort of get out there and be loud, be vocal, or create a chance. So, yeah, look, we'll have to obviously see. But that's a good start for the VICs as well for this skin. 8 runs coming from that first over. And I won't say it's been chanceless so far, the first 5 overs, but they've been fairly conservative. They haven't risked a great deal. There's been a few little half chances, a few little fielding opportunities there for the New South Wales team. But at this stage, they're just very conservative. And I think they recognise perhaps, maybe that's the plan. New South Wales is very quiet. Maybe shut them out of the game.
Simmons to bowl the 6th over. New South Wales, of course, coached by Nathan Rennie, former Australian player. And his own approach to the game is fairly calm, right? And maybe that's something that that he's built into this team, is a more calm, professional approach rather than one that needs to be fiery and really needs that energy and vocal performance behind it to feed the team.
Lovely shot.
Great shot.
That was beautiful. Oh, yeah, look, Nathan's a quality player and he's played the game at the highest level, so he understands. I think if that's the case, it might be 2 very different approaches by these teams. Victoria's a big hype team.
Yes, indeed.
Nice shot. Beautiful shot. Just weighted nicely. Ball under his eyes again. I think that's the key. Bowler's just erred a little bit with his lengths here, Simmons. A little bit short for the first couple. Just got a little bit full there as well. So the Vic's cruising along. Nice shot.
Yeah, they've looked rock solid so far, and that's probably the game needs something from New South Wales to spark them, even if they are going to be quiet about their approach. Full driven into the backcourt and 4 runs. Justin Perkins isn't going to miss out on that, Moggy.
Nah, that's bread and butter for a player of his calibre. And the interesting thing is we've seen the crowd in the grandstand just get a little bit involved now as well. So I think as the game's progressing, we'll start to see a bit more crowd involvement as well. But great start for this pair. 20 runs off the first 2 overs. It's really changed the momentum of the game, and I'm sure that that's something I'm going to talk about a lot over the next couple of days, momentum of the game. And this is where it's important that New South Wales just need to find something here. Maybe if they're not a loud team or they're not a vocal team that gets right in your face and yells and screams, maybe an inspirational piece of fielding and maybe an experienced player needs to deliver that.
Isherwood again. It's a single. Perkins not happy with the single. The scoreboard continues to tick over, however, and Victoria in a strong position.
Nice shot again. Beautiful shot, weighted nicely. I think with these decks just doing it a little bit too, the key really is to play nice and straight, not playing across the line. Nothing wrong with that, a dot ball. There's a ball in an area, I think the length was really vital there. It's just sort of a hard ball to get away, but he's respected it and called a no. It's good cricket.
Well kept off the net. Just a single.
Two balls remaining in this 7th over.
Oh. Finds the edge. That's the first real opportunity we've seen. And,
he's generally been shaping the ball into the right-hand batsman, and it looks like he's just rolled his fingers on that one, a little bit of purchase off the pitch. Good bowling. A little more flight. Oh, lovely shot, well weighted, and bangs it over the offside sweeper.
Didn't try and overhit that either. Just, as you say, weighted on it, gently hit that into the backcourt and claimed 3. Just wonderful timing. And this pair moves to 27 now with 6 balls remaining in the partnership. The score is 51. And you mentioned it earlier, Moggy, and I think you're right. New South Wales don't want to let this game get away from them. I think they're a side that believe they can chase anything, and that's a deserved belief. But I'm not sure it's the right approach if they let Victoria get 100 plus.
Well, yeah, it just puts them under a fair bit of pressure. And yeah, look, generally, New South Wales teams across all age groups are very aggressive when they bat, so probably they're going to back themselves.
Here's Whitelaw, 8th over.
Short of a length. Nice shot, nice fielding on the leg side 3 line there to get up and save that from hitting the side net. Yeah, look, they are an aggressive team and they like to play aggressive, but, you know, that style is high risk. And while it can work, all it takes is a wicket and again, momentum. You know, losing a wicket or two will get the opposition pumped up as well. So, shot.
Yeah,
Really
great
good
shot.
contact.
What's interesting to me, Moggy, is we've not actually seen any of New South Wales strike bowlers yet. I mean, halfway through the innings. That's full. Just tucked away for one, probably
And
could have gone anywhere.
that really surprises me. Knowing that the ball's harder at the moment, a little bit shinier, it's going to swing a bit more, it's going to do a little bit more off the pitch if you hit the pitch in the right area.
Well, it's probably also, as we see, just another fantastic shot from Di Rosario. It may be a horses for courses situation where New South Wales have a particular strategy to bowl certain bowlers against certain batters. Final ball of the partnership, full, and another 2 runs to Perkins, and that is quite a 4-over period for the Victorian side. They've moved to 60 runs courtesy of the 36 runs from that partnership. A dominant performance from them. Again, Moggy, I have to point out, we've not seen New South Wales strike bowlers. So Ash Patterson, Kyle Vickery, both 11 wickets each to their name. AJ Isherwood, granted, we have seen him bowl his 2 overs. He's the next leading wicket taker for the side, but you would expect that we would have seen Patterson, Vickery, you know, the likes of Greg Connor, perhaps Bradley Bullivant. Bullivant's actually not even in this game, so we won't see him, but the Patterson and Connor in particular, as well as Kyle Vickery, we haven't seen them. What difference are they going to make to these last 8 overs?
And maybe it's been a strategy. Maybe they had a fair feel which way the Vics were going to go with their pairs and felt they were going to get best bang for their buck by bowling those strike bowlers to a couple of the pairs coming forward. But if they're not careful, the game can get away from them pretty quickly. 60 is a fantastic start after 8 overs.
Lance McDougall and Lachlan King on the court now for Victoria, and it is Luke Webb bowling his 2nd over. So good area to start with at pace.
Yeah, he's pretty sharp. Moves through the crease nicely and generates a fair bit of pace over that delivery stride. It'll be interesting to see if he can get the ball to swing as much as he did in the first over. Now the ball's a little bit older. So far he has. It's a good area. It's a good call and a lovely touch. Direct hit there would have been very interesting.
Yeah, take a look here at the highlight.
I think he's probably made his ground, actually.
Yeah.
That was good running and a good call.
King starts with a dot. Early call of no. The right one.
Yeah, definitely the right call there. Look, I think the interesting point so far in the game is New South Wales hasn't taken a wicket. And momentum. Again, I'll start talking about it now, but it can swing the momentum majorly.
Movement from King to get in position to play that shot.
Just a little bit shorter of a length, and on these pitches they sit up, so you've just got a little bit more time to adjust as a batter. I think he really wants to try and get back to that fuller length. He seems fairly dangerous when he gets to that area. Just flirted with the leg side line and unfortunately suffered the leg side wide. Look, if you're going to miss, that's where you want to miss. It's pretty hard and pretty tight in that area, so it's been not a bad over. Oh, good areas there. Just a little bit quicker, that one as well. Rather than swinging with his natural swing into the right-hand batsman, just held its line across the batter.
Good finish to the over, a dot ball, 1 of 3 in that over. 5 runs from the over, though. And to your point, New South Wales yet to take a wicket. So those dot balls, well, in the usual circumstances might hurt a team, but when you're not taking any wickets, they can quite comfortably see off a couple and over.
Well, that's exactly right.
Be Greg Connor now, and one of those bowlers that I mentioned. Can he create some impact here for New South Wales with Lachlan King on strike?
bit of a mix-up. Oh, it's an opportunity.
It's the second time Lachlan King's hit that sort of down-up right into that area. The first time he called no, that time he was keen for a run. So interesting, but at least the call was no and they responded well.
And it could be the pressure building with a few dot balls. Bowled in a good area, but King's just backed away and played it nicely for a safe one. So yeah, wickets are great. Dot balls are really important as well, because if you get more and more dot balls, it starts to put a bit of pressure on the batting team and can create an opportunity. Nice tight line there. So yeah, look, you know, dot balls are good. It helps just put the pressure on the batting team, and but what New South Wales really need to do is capitalise on this pressure at the moment. Rocks back, paddles it for a down up one off the back net.
What's interesting to me about New South Wales field, they're certainly persisting with 2 men on the offside of the front court, but they're very square. Got one man way behind square, the other one's almost at a point position. So they're maybe trying to invite that drive. They're just not bowling the right length to do that.
Yeah, it's just a little shorter of a length. And you'll see that by the way the batters are playing most of these shots off the back foot. You're right, it's just an interesting tactic. And maybe it could be these two batters. They were a little straighter to the other pairs. It's a nice shot off his legs.
Yeah, Lance McDougall doesn't miss out on those. That brings the over to an end. 5 runs from it. Slowly building this pair, but building well. 70 runs on the board in a strong position here, Victoria, with 6 overs to come in the innings. Ash Patterson now with a job to do for New South Wales.
Yeah, we talked a little earlier about a score of 80. At this point in time, the Vics are well on track to exceed that and probably pushing much closer to 100. And that's going to put the New South Wales batting team under a fair bit of pressure.
Great use of the feet from Lance McDougall. Sends it into the backcourt for 4 runs. Ash Patterson's first delivery.
They're persisting with the field a little bit square in the front court.
Lachlan King advances and makes no mistake as he punishes that ball. 7 runs and already 11 runs from the over, Moggy.
Very aggressive start by the Vics.
Chance now, if he can hit at the top, but McDougall makes it. The first 2 balls are obviously flighted way up there, and Patterson can see that these two were quite happy to use their feet. That one was much flatter.
Yeah, it's still getting above the eye line, but that one was just a shorter length. Looked like the wrong one, actually. Aggressive use of the feet again.
And more runs from the backcourt, 3 runs this time. 15 from the over, 2 balls remaining. Victoria are advancing.
Nice
Happy
adjustment.
to watch that, McDougall.
Yeah, look, he used his feet and realised the ball just dips, so he was probably going to play a risky shot, so he's just rocked back, allow the ball to pass through. I'm okay with that.
Throws that one up, and McDougall hits a down up 4 and pumps that fist. This has been a dominant over from Victoria. 19 runs from it, Moggy. Can you believe that?
That's massive. That's really changed the momentum in the game here and the context of the game. I wonder if the Vics came out with the intent to be aggressive against Patterson. I mean, I know you said he's one of the key wicket takers, but maybe it's because other teams have been playing too conservatively.
Exactly right, and it could be that the bulk of those wickets have come from, you know, some of the sides that aren't featuring in finals, for example, but clear plan there and comfort with using their feet and advancing.
Yeah. And when they used their feet and it was a good ball, they were still happy to rock back, not play a shot.
Smart cricket.
Yeah, very good cricket by the Vics.
Logan Whitelaw to bowl the last over to the pair. Good start. It is a dot ball.
We just squared him up a little bit. Played a little bit across the line, but adjusted well. Just took the outside edge, but no wicket there and no chances.
A chance. Some Good work there in the front court again from the New South Wales skipper. But Victoria home safely.
30 runs for the pair, 90 with 4 balls remaining in this pair. This is a big score by the Vics. A bit of a fielding change. Moving Webb across to the leg side.
Interesting. Chance in the front court.
Oh, little mix-up as well.
Yeah.
Direct hit, and I think he was gone there. It was a good little touch in the front.
I think he waited too long. He chased the ball. Didn't necessarily, if he got that in hand a little bit quicker, he had more options.
Nice shot. Rocks back. Nice easy down up for 2. Just keeps the Vic train rolling along.
How comfortable has McDougall looked? He hasn't lost any form.
No, look, he's got a fair bit of experience in the Victorian team. One of the more
The Australian team.
Yeah. Well,
There's the first false shot and the first wicket. Can you believe that?
It's taken 12 overs pretty much to get there.
And
but
New South Wales, didn't they need that? And isn't it interesting when you're on such a roll that overconfidence can just create a false shot like this, as we see here on the replay. Just didn't use his feet, Moggy, and
just probably got a little
keeper
bit
was good enough.
Yeah, got a little bit lazy on it, and he just balances, made him fall outside of the crease. Good hands, but
Final ball to the pair, and they're happy with a dot. But the damage done in the earlier overs there, so still 29 runs from the pair despite that wicket in the final over, and the score has moved to 89. Victoria already on a total that you would consider competitive. It's up to New South Wales to try and rein them in. Let's check in on the other game, the major semi-final between ACT and Queensland. ACT in the 11th over on 61, batting first. And Brad Jones and Clive Rose have entered the court for Victoria here in this match. The minor semi-final here at Indoor Cricket's National Championships. Thank you for your company right around Australia and the world. Welcome back to Indoor Cricket Nationals. I'm Cameron Walter with Stephen Mogg, and we hope you are enjoying the coverage. A big effort required here from Victoria, but they've got 2 pretty quality batters to contend with here in Clive Rose and Brad Jones, Moggy.
well, that's right. Clive Rose obviously a big bash player, and Brad Jones been around for many years and played quite. Oh, that one's just kept a little low. And as Clive's indicated, but yeah, Brad Jones has been around, played plenty of nationals as well, so there's a fair bit of experience here. New South Wales really need to keep these guys under 100. I know they'll back themselves to chase anything, but geez, I'd like to be under 100.
Catching some of that line on the way through. Connor not happy with the call, but seemed reasonable to me.
Yeah, look, it was tight. He flirted with it, but again, you don't mind if you're going to miss there because, an inch or 2 the other way inside, and that's a really good delivery. Nice
Wonderful shot from Rose. Gets that fist pumping already. It's a good, great way to get in the game when your first runs from the bat come off such a great indoor cricket shot. 3 runs. Jones faces his first ball. Tries to tuck it around the corner, but off the legs. Dot ball.
Yeah, I've noticed compared to his first over, the ball just seems to be keeping a little bit low here. Nice little paddle there by Jones, nice and safe. Good early call as well, gets through for the single.
Final ball in the match for Greg Connor. That one's inside the line, given fair. So a dot ball to finish.
Well, that's why I don't mind it there. If you get it right, very hard to score runs. Like a lot of indoor batters will bat outside leg stump or on a leg stump. Maybe Clive, coming from a traditional outdoor background more so, or more recently anyway, maybe takes a more traditional batting stance, and that's what opens up that leg side line.
Ash Patterson went the journey in his first over. Let's see if he can fight back here with a counter attack. and whether or not they continue to use their feet to him. Here he is to Jones. Starts with a wide. Well watched from Jones.
Yeah, he didn't look to use his feet there. He was very stable, so it'd be interesting to see.
This time he does, and sends it for 7. They are more than neutralising the bowling of Ash Patterson. They are sending him for plenty of runs, Moggy.
Very aggressive and undoubtedly a plan.
And 4 more runs. I thought for a second he didn't quite get to the pitch of that.
No, he didn't.
He just played such a smart shot.
And he realised that. He
Yeah.
sort of got out to it and went, oh, I'm not quite here, so just played soft. Picked the gap. You know, there's nothing wrong with hitting the back net along the ground.
No, not at all.
Still a low risk sort of situation, but yeah, probably dipped on him a little bit and got short, but another good shot there by Jones. There was a shorter ball by Patterson. It's just rocked back and paddled it for 2.
Oh, smart cricket from Rose. Another backcourt shot. 4 runs.
He's got the fist pump out already too. He's going.
18 runs from this over with 1 ball to come. Quality batting from Victoria. Left alone. It is a dot to finish. And that's figures of none for 37 for Ash Patterson.
Wow.
That's massive. And Victoria absolutely took the game to him, and look at the position they're in now. With 2 overs remaining, 113 runs on the board, this could be one of the bigger totals of the tournament.
Yes, it's looking that way at this point in time. I mean, and undoubtedly, the way the 2 pairs played Patterson then, it was obviously a plan to be aggressive against him. Use your feet. If you can get to the pitch of the ball, do it. And again, we picked up that Clive Rose didn't quite get to the ball, was smart enough to adjust, and rather than commit to the shot and taking a risk, just played soft hands and still got 4 runs as a result. So 24 for this pair, 113. This is blowing this score out. Again, I reckon New South Wales will back themselves to chase it, but...
Well, 114 is the highest score that Victoria have scored in the tournament.
Right.
So this is obviously well on track to eclipse that. Here is Hines. And another backcourt shot from Rose, who hasn't overhit a single delivery. He's just playing smart cricket. His placement is sublime.
He's just making good contact. Good contact on the ball, and that's all you need to do.
It's straight back to the receiver. And correct an early call of no. New South Wales, their highest score, 134. Granted, that was against Tasmania. How good is it to see them back at Nationals?
I'm not sure. Oh,
Driven into the backcourt, another 4 runs. This time off the bat of Bradley Jones.
yeah, look, it's excellent. The Tassie boys are back in the competition. Hopefully, it's something they can grow from and get a few more teams to the Nationals. They've got an under-15s team, I believe, coming next week as well, which is excellent to see. Nice shot.
Well kept off the net there by Connor.
Yeah, good feeling. Mate, it's cold enough here in Victoria. Imagine having to go play Nationals in Tasmania at some stage in the future.
I think, I don't think it's out of order for me to say, I think we'd all put up with the cold to get down there and welcome them back.
I've got a few layers on for here, mate, so as a Queenslander, I'd have to put 2 pairs of thermals on or something like that just to keep warm.
Oh, toughen up, Bobby. 1 ball remaining in the 15th over. Victoria just continuing on their merry way. They're well and truly above their previous highest total in the tournament, which was in fact against New South Wales.
Shot.
Just wonderful cricket from Rose. Another 2 runs. They move now to 37 for the pair. Still an over to come and 126 runs on the board. It would surprise me if this will not be the highest total in the tournament. 125 Queensland have scored. It looks to me like that's the previous high, other than 134. So yeah, if they get to that, I know the ACT got 135. So that's the target. Can they get that?
Yeah. Just looking around the New South Wales team, you know, you look at body language and they just seem flat. I'm not saying they're down in the dumps. They just don't seem to have that spark.
Simmons starts. Rose again has he's just putting on a clinic here.
Yeah, he's batting excellent. Not overhitting the ball, waiting for the ball to come to him, making good contact.
It's an excellent delivery, but still gets through to the net for 2. You see Jones there pointing at Rose, just saying good call. He called him through for that, the right call.
Shot.
I'm just running out of superlatives here, I think, for Rose. There's just been some sort of an innings. Unbelievable cricket from Victoria, who's moved now to 132.
Looks like he has plenty of time. I guess playing in the Big Bash, you got players running the ball 150 k's an hour. Yeah. This will be easy.
Yeah.
It's still not. It's still a challenge. Obviously, it's a slightly different game. You're playing the ball a little bit later. And
There's a chance at the top, but it's a fumble and 2 runs with 1 ball remaining.
134. Are we on here for the highest score?
I'm tipping yes. Oh, equal. A single to finish, a marvellous batting performance from Victoria. 135 runs, the equal highest score in the entire tournament. And New South Wales will have a massive task ahead of them if they are to stay alive here at the 2022 Indoor Cricket National Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your company. You're watching the minor semi-final between New South Wales and Victoria. Quick update on the major semi between the ACT and Queensland. The ACT are on 80 runs with about 2 overs left in their innings. We'll keep you up to date with that game throughout this one. Moggy, 46 runs from that last pair. I'm not sure I've seen such a strong example of almost chanceless batting in a clutch pair like that in a long time, and that's not just because of COVID, my friend. 135 runs on the board. Can you see New South Wales chasing this down?
If there's a team here that could, it is New South Wales, but I think it's just a little bit too much here. And I think the key to that whole innings by Victoria was the 1 dismissal, only 1.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a whole heap of chances. They really didn't allow the New South Wales bowling and fielding team get into the game. It was an impressive clinic of batting, really. Some really good quality shots, using your feet well, waiting for hit the ball under your eyes. Just classic indoor cricket. And it was good to see. But yeah, I think 135 is just going to be a little bit too much. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it's a cracking game and they get close.
What would your approach be, just as we see Patterson and Connor coming out to open there? Patterson, 125 runs to his name. He's got the most runs for New South Wales. Connor, 88, so averaging just over 12 and a half. What would your approach be to this run chase? Do you think it's a case that they've just got to come out and play aggressive cricket? Would you try and build something a little bit more logarithmic?
I'd break it down a little bit. 135. We've got 4 skins. If we get around that 35 a skin, or close to, we're in the game. And I think the most important thing is to build a score. You don't want to go out here all guns are blazing, get 10, next pair. It's too hard. Give your last pair a chance. Even if that last pair's got to hit 50, the Vic's just hit 46.
Yeah.
So it's possible. I mean, it's a tough ask, but it is possible.
Well, the challenge for New South Wales here is not only the runs that they need to score, but the team that they need to do it against. Victoria, quality bowling attack, and one of the best fields going around. So this will be quite the challenge for New South Wales, irrespective of what approach they choose to take. And I can't imagine that Victoria are going to give them much of an opportunity to come out all guns blazing anyway. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at the New South Wales team, and if you look, there's 3 aspects of the game from a skill point of view. You've got your batting, your bowling, and your fielding. And I think New South Wales, their strength is their batting. Whereas the Victorians, I mean, they batted really, really well, but I don't know if that's their strength. I'd probably go with the bowling and fielding. Probably the fielding's probably their big part of their game, I think. Again, we've been out of action for 3 years, so things might have changed, but I think the Vics will go pretty hard pretty early here and try and get on top of the game as quick as they possibly can.
Well, Brad Jones has the job of starting the innings for Victoria. Patterson on strike, Connor at the other end. And you see some of that intent already. Patterson looking to play straight and get it through that field, but Victoria up to the task.
I think he's made it pretty clear what he's going to do here. I think he's going to go early. I mean, he is a good batter and he can be aggressive, so.
Yeah, there it is again. There's clear intent from Patterson. 4 runs. Could be in for some interesting cricket here, Moggy.
Yeah, I think so. Look, I think it's a bit early to be going so hard, but look, that's their plan. They are chasing a big score. They've got to try something.
There's a chance. It's a flat shot. A flick from Lamaya, not quite there. And look, this is sudden death cricket. There's no point in New South Wales dying wondering. They'll come out here and throw everything they've got at chasing this massive total down. Jones continues. Chance.
Patterson being very aggressive. Wants back net every ball. Look, and I'm okay with being aggressive. That's what they need to do. But I don't know if you need to go every ball. You know, sometimes you're going to get a good ball and respect it, and that's what the VICs did well. They got a good ball. They respected it. You know, if you get a little bit something loose, attack. So that was a slightly looser ball. That was a fuller one, so perhaps that's a ball you could chase. But yeah, I don't think you've got to go every ball. But it's been a good start. 10 runs so far with 1 ball remaining in the first over. They are on track.
Oh, there you can see where that intent will undo you. Pace off, hit straight to that sweeper fielder and the first wicket falls.
The difference here, it took 12 overs. The VICs lost theirs in the 12th over, or 11th over, sorry. And again, did he really need to go there? 10 runs after 5 balls. It's a pretty good start. They're on track. You know, maybe treat that ball with a bit more respect and play it to get to 12, or even if it's a 0, you're still well on track here. Lachlan King coming in to bowl now for the VICs. Big wicket there to start the game off for the Victorian fielding team.
Chance at the top, and that should be out, and it is. Great fielding in the front court there from Perkins. Made no mistake getting the ball back to the receiver and effect a clean and simple run out for Victoria. Damage coming early. Take a look here on the replay. Straight to him. And they just ran, didn't they?
Well, they did. There was a little bit of fumble with the ball in his hand, but he still had enough time to compose himself and get good service across the top of the stumps.
Take a look at this field from Victoria. 2 men on the leg side, but very straight.
Yeah, I think that's because of the aggressive intent.
Yeah.
And
Left alone.
And that's the thing.
Wide.
When you have that really aggressive intent, you're not going to hit the ball up into the springs as much because you're really trying to get to the ball and you're hitting it out in front sometimes rather than under your eyes. So, yeah, like I say, I'm not sure if this is the way I'd approach it, but it's the New South Wales way, and they are chasing a big score here.
Well, that sent into the back court by Patterson caught the side net and therefore open to being caught, and it was. This is exactly the risk that you take if you come out all guns blazing. If you're not respecting the good deliveries, the wheels can fall off real quick. And New South Wales are in a world of hurt at the moment. -3 in pursuit of 135.
Making the job very, very tough, that's for sure. Yeah, look, I still think you can be aggressive. So that last shot that took the side net and caught off the back net, you know, rather than hitting that up, why not drive it, on-drive it and keep it along the ground? Still aggressive intent, slightly safer option. You know, maybe you get the 3 or the 4 rather than the 7 which he was chasing, but it might have been a better result.
Oh, chance, the bail comes off. The touch from the Victorian fielders, everything going their way at the moment.
What a beautiful bit of fielding. Just took the edge of the stump there. but it was enough to affect the run out. Direct hits more often than result. Just got himself in pretty good position.
Knew exactly where the stumps were too, and all it had to do was kick that bail off, and another wicket down.
See, direct hit here, and he's a good metre plus short.
Yeah.
Athletic bit of fielding. I like that. That was good.
Final ball of the over. And it's a leg side. Still though, wonderful over for Victoria. They're up and about. They're going to take every opportunity given to them, and the way that New South Wales are playing, there's going to be plenty of opportunities. And look, they've got no choice now. It's going to be high risk, high reward cricket.
Yeah, certainly.
So, 140 runs now required from 14 overs.
Yeah, look, it's possible. It's 10 runs an over. 6 ball overs. So you know what, you can hit 5 twos and over and 1 dot ball. I mean, the key is to be close now. You just can't lose any more wickets. Losing the 3 or so that they already have has really put them on the back foot.
A deep and straight field for Di Rosario, and Patterson perhaps conceding that his aggressive approach, hasn't been working. Instead, rocks back and takes 2.
Yeah, it is an interesting field, but I think that's just the way the New South Wales team's batting. Nice feet. Dragged that one down a little bit, but he's adjusted well, used his feet nicely and just banged that up for 2. That's a good cricket shot.
A chance in the front court again. This one not a direct hit. They get through for runs.
So this is a more conservative approach by New South Wales, and they're getting the rewards for it. So look, if we go back to that first over of this innings for batting, 10 runs after 5 balls.
Yeah.
Don't chase the big shot. Hit it 2, 12. Be a bit more conservative through that second over. You know what? They're probably on 22, 23 at the moment.
There's a school of thought where it may have made more sense for these two to hang back to the last pair. So you get 3 pairs to come in and take a more measured approach, get them within that 50 that you mentioned earlier, and then they come out all guns blazing when there's pressure on Victoria.
Well, that's it. I mean, at the moment, the scoreboard pressure's there against New South Wales. Whereas if they had to come out, built a score, then the pressure starts to change a little bit, doesn't it? If the Vics aren't getting wickets, and again, momentum. Every time you get a wicket, you get up, you get excited, gets the crowd into the game as well. Especially now, like we've seen the crowd grow a little bit, and we'll see that over this evening and tomorrow as well. I'm expecting a pretty big crowd. I remember grand finals here last time, a couple of years ago, you could barely move, mate.
Yes. Back in 2019, and indeed, if you are in Melbourne or in the Casey area, come on down. Here's Clive Rose.
Chance.
It was flat. It was there for Victoria. Can't claim it that time.
It's interesting, obviously, Clive in the bash. Bowls his spinners, but out here bowls, I'll say medium quick. It's not as sharp as everyone going around, but that's still fairly quick. That one got through. I find that interesting because, like I say, I think spins worked quite well on these pitches over the week.
Full and dropped by McDougall. That's uncharacteristic for him.
I'm okay with Patterson going for that one. It wasn't the greatest ball. They're the ones you need to put away when you're chasing such a big score like this. It's a chance.
This time McDougall makes up for the previous delivery with a diving effort in the front court, and gee, that's a sharp catch.
He's just moved so well, kept his eyes on the ball particularly well, but yeah, just the movement. If we get a chance to have a look at that on replay, just look at his first couple of steps. Really aggressive on the ball. And that was a good catch.
Two runs to Patterson with 1 ball remaining. the damage has been done in this pair. 6 runs on the board.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough from here.
Chance, the flick is well wide. It'll be a safe 2 for New South Wales in the end. 8 runs from the first pair in pursuit of Victoria's 135. If you're just joining us, it is the minor semi-final in the men's division of the Indoor Cricket National Championships. I'm Cameron Walter, and with me is Stephen Mogg. We've just seen Victoria pile on some runs. The opening pair for New South Wales in pursuit of that huge total didn't exactly go off as planned if you're in the New South Wales camp. They're going to need some sort of a miracle here. They need 3 huge batting partnerships to get them anywhere near this total. I keep pointing out, Moggy, it is sudden death cricket.
That's right.
New South Wales will not give up this fight until it is over.
Yeah. So look, we talked about at the start, 35 a pair gets the result for you here. Now it's harder. It's over 40 a pair for these last 3 pairs. And like I said, I've said it now a couple of times, but that first over, they were 10 with 1 ball to go.
Yeah.
And they went the big shot. I think that's where you just take your 2 if you can. Get to 12. Next over looked a bit. They would, we're talking about a score of 35 there. That's what they needed to if they just had a reined it in on them.
McDougall is bowling the 5th over. Jaden Simmons and Jared Burke are at the crease for New South Wales with a fair bit of work to do.
Yeah, but I think they can build into this as well. They don't need to go from ball 1. Oh, Flighty there, just sort of moved his feet reasonably well, but got the outside edge of the bat. And it was an easy 2 in the end.
Well, if New South Wales are to be any chance, this pair needs to get 35.
Yes.
Simple as that. If not more.
And like a score of 35, just, the VICs are well on top, but just plants a little bit of a seed. Bit of a doubt there for the Victorians going, well, hang on, another couple of 35s or a 40 here and there, and they're in the game. So I think that's important. Shot. What a shot.
Fantastic movement just to get in position to play that. He did it early and got the reward.
And even McDougall recognised that he was walking back to his bowling crease, just giving him a little clap on the leg. Just, that's a good cricket shot. And at this level, there are going to be plenty of good cricket shots.
Bowler's changing direction.
Behind the legs there of Burke, leg side wide. Could probably afford to bowl a few of those, Victoria.
They can, yeah. Look, the pressure's right off them at the moment, but the trick is they won't want to get into bad habits either.
Correct. While it will be the end of the tournament for the loser of this game, the winner does have to go on to play in the preliminary final. So Victoria, even if they do end up romping this in, they've got to stay sharp.
Well, yeah, because, it's the kind of game here where they can, maybe they take the foot off the throat a little bit and they just ease into it thinking, we've got another game tonight. But that's sometimes when bad habits can come in, You're not executing your plans, or you're just changing little things that you normally wouldn't do. And that's a bad habit to get into.
Kieran Perkins will bowl now for Victoria with Simmons on strike. Again, a straight and deep field on the onside. Rocks back and helps himself to 2.
He moves his feet well. And I think the key is he jumps up a lot for these shots too, so that just allows him to get up over the top of the ball as well. Very safe shot there from...
Oh, wow. An absolute full bunger, and looks like Burke has managed to get some wood on it.
It was only a little edge. And a bit of a juggle there, but it's not a bad catch in the end. I don't think either the batter or the keeper expected that ball.
Follows it up with a wide.
hasn't been the greatest of overs by Perkins here. I mean, he's got a wicket, so you can't complain, but...
It's a wicket in the scorebook.
Yeah, exactly right. But, you know, wide. I probably expected a little better. Uppish.
Falls safe, 2 runs.
Just gave him a little bit of width there, and he's taken it. Didn't get all of it, but like, got a bit of a chunk of it, but probably the outside edge of the bat. And that's not a down up. That one's an up down.
Flat chance at the top. It's a good piece of fielding, and Simmons not happy with the decision. Given out.
We'll get the advantage of a replay, but it was a good bit of fielding.
Didn't rush, but still did it quickly. Take a look here at the replay. Good position. Turn and throw. Tough to see when the bails came off, but it looks, I think a fair call from the umpire.
Yeah, look, and Jones did a fantastic job there because the leg side sweep has really blocked his vision. But he's still got his hands to it. Look, it was close either way. I mean, it's hard, like you say, it's hard to say. See if we get a slightly better look at this. Everything looks good there.
Yeah, out for mine. I think the bails are off in time. I mean, you can't see the moment it happened, but just the rest of the sequence of events, I think it's a fair call.
Yeah, I think that's. I think the umpire's got that one right. Pretty tough call. It's pretty line ball too. So.
Lamai now. On your screen, you'll see he's wearing Armitage, but trust me, it's Jai Lamai. Perkins hits the stumps, but Simmons is home.
That one looked like a bit of an off-cutter sort of delivery, but just didn't seem to get up. It just seemed to sort of skid through a little as well.
Beaten, and a fumble from Kieran Perkins behind the stumps. A missed chance there for Victoria.
I think that one may have been more out of the back of the hand. It's hard. I'm sort of half watching the screen and trying to watch it live. Off cutter again. Chance. Ooh, good bit of fielding off his own bowling.
Well, unfortunately for New South Wales, I think they've got no choice but to absolutely try and blast as many runs as they can now. Seems a bit counterintuitive, but we mentioned before they need to be 35 this pair, and they're nowhere near it at the moment with 8 balls remaining.
I still think you've got to pick the right ball, but you just can't go every ball.
Of course, but 8 balls remaining, they need at least 25 runs. That's a good shot.
Yeah,
smart
aggressive
cricket.
shot. Yeah. And again, rather than going for the big glory of the 7, he's played that smart. He's hit it along the ground. As a result, 3 runs were scored. Chance. Nice little touch from Perkins to Perkins there. Almost created an opportunity of a run out. But, New South Wales in all kinds of trouble here. 14 for this skin, team total of 22, chasing a mammoth score of 135. 10 overs to go. The ask is getting pretty tough.
And the Victorian skipper, Justin Perkins, is going to make it even tougher for them now, bowling the 8th over.
I think the Vics recognise what we do, you know. They need to go big here, the New South Wales team, so if they can hold them. Ooh. Good start there by Juddy. Nice and tight on the legs. Just push that for 2. Chance.
Confusion.
Ooh.
Sent back, and rightly so.
It was a good dive to get back, but it just looked like his bat was up.
Oh, jeez, nearly beaten.
It was a fuller ball. He sort of came out to it and almost yorked himself with that one. That would have been a pretty sensational little stumping if that opportunity arose there.
3rd ball.
Nice shot.
Sees it off safely for 2. 2 balls remain. New South Wales in a world of hurt.
Yeah, needing another 110 to win. Nice little noodle around the corner for another single. That's a pretty safe shot there as long as you get a nice early call on that. Last ball here by Juddy Perkins.
Advanced, false shot, 2 runs though, and this pair finishes with 21. In the ordinary course of events, that would be, not a bad partnership, but in pursuit of 135, it's not enough.
Yeah, nowhere near enough, unfortunately. And this is where the VICs can really set the game. I mean, I know they're really well and truly on top, but if they go too easy, this pair hits, let's say, a 50. Then, yeah, look, we said, maybe the last pair only needs a 50. But if this pair can hit a 50 as well, it's pretty close. But that's a lot to ask. And I think the VICs might go pretty hard at this pair too, just to ice the game nice and early, take some pressure off. Do we have an update from the other court? I can't quite see the scorecard on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I can give you one when the scoreboard goes back to normal. Hines and Isherwood on the court for New South Wales now, as you say, with all the work to do. The major semi-final between ACT and Queensland defending 80. The ACT have Queensland on 33 at the beginning of the 7th over. So that's going to be a tight little game, that one.
Yeah, both those teams play very well. They've got a bit of a history together as well. Both play a very similar traditional game of indoor cricket, in my opinion. Jones coming in the bowl. Chance at the keeper's end. Direct hit would have been very interesting there, but just shied a little bit. Be interesting to see how the New South Wales batters approach this. I mean, they've got to have a go. There's no two ways about it, so. Oh, nice drive. Good bit of feeling by Clive Rose at the back of the court. Dives across to save that extra run. They've still got some commitment here, the Victorians, which is important. Again, I think it's important that they don't fall into any bad habits. Chance of the keeper's end. Direct hit.
He's on fire, isn't he?
He is. Quality leg side fielder. And direct hit again. That's 2 from 2. Really good stuff there.
Just great position. Responded well to the low ball coming off the net. And the right result for Victoria. Jones continues.
Oh, it's a risky chance. Actually, probably not too bad. It was a good, nice early call. Both committed well. And probably went softly with it with his hands, so it didn't really get to the fielding team. Aggressive shot again. Chance.
Oh, direct hit from Rose.
Would have been
It
close.
was very tight.
Oh, it's a good call for a run there. Yorked himself again, just pushed the ball into the corner, but it was a good call and they got through nicely for a single. 5 runs coming from that over of Brad Jones. Bowled quite well, 2 for 10 off his 2 overs. And New South Wales 34, chasing 135. So 102 required.
Bit of work to do.
An awful lot of work to do, unfortunately. Well, realistically, probably not going to happen, but cricket can be a funny game at times. A couple of big overs here. But again, they're going the big guns. Clive coming in to bowl. So Jones and Clive, 2 of the more experienced bowlers in the Victorian team. Just a little delay here. Slight little misfield, but still only the 1. Good start by Clive Rose. Put the ball in the right area. Just rolling his fingers across that one by the looks of it. But well weighted. Nice soft hands.
I get the feeling that New South Wales have effectively conceded the game. They're playing twos, which is okay, that's fine, but twos aren't going to win this game.
No, exactly right.
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, you can come out here, try and bash 50.
Yeah.
And if it's not your natural game, you can make yourself look pretty silly sometimes. And, you know, you still want to respect the game.
And especially in the face of quality bowling and fielding, right?
Yeah. And the Vics have been pretty sharp in the field. I won't say clinical. There's been a couple of little things, but they've been very good. They've got some nice touches. Oh, it's a shot.
Well, maybe we spoke too soon. 7 runs there from Isherwood.
Yeah, look, it wasn't a slog. It was a pretty good cricket shot, really. A little risky. Just got inside the 7 line.
And 2 to the New South Wales captain to finish.
19 for the skin thus far. Yeah, look.
See that on the replay, 7 runs there to Isherwood.
They probably need about another 4 or 5 of those in the next 2 overs to keep in the hunt.
Yeah. And Lachlan King is over featured 3 wickets his first over. He's coming on to bowl his second. That really got Victoria off to the races, that did.
Well, yeah, that was that in that first pair, and that over really changed that game. I mean, first 5 balls of that innings, New South Wales were batting quite well. Wicket on the last ball that first over, and then King's come in and capitalised with a couple himself. So, it's a chance. Oh, that one's pretty close. Not 100% sure on that one. Looked like he may have got back, but the replay is going to show us a much better slow-mo angle of that one for us. So leg side wide. Ooh,
Probably out.
Yeah. Very close.
Shows the danger of backing up too far.
That's right.
If the batter is beaten or it's a wide, you're in no man's land. Again, Isherwood, you can see he gets right down there. So that's great at giving yourself every chance of making your ground at the striker's end, but you are in danger at the non-striker's end.
Well, that's right. And with keepers of indoor cricket standing so close, the natural reaction is grab and throw and try to get to the top end nice and quickly. So, little rule for the young fellas out there, or young ladies trying to learn the game: 2 steps. Nice shot for 2. What I mean by that is sort of you take only 1 or 2 steps. You know, you're not over-committing, so you can get back nice and quickly, but you've got your momentum in case you need to take off the short run, or sharp run, sorry. You know, if you're taking 3 or 4, to turn around and come back, it's just too hard against the quality keeper. King in the bowl with 3 balls left in the over.
Early call of no. Ball in Kieran Perkins' hands quite quickly, so the right decision. 2 to come.
Yeah. It's very quiet here at the moment, isn't it?
Just too good from Kieran Perkins. It was hit and run from Isherwood. Perkins knew immediately that Hines wasn't going and turned and threw to the keeper's end. That's impressive reaction time. Great fielding.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was that he knew he wasn't going. I think it was more that he heard the call and knew that the non-striker was on the back foot. So really, that's why he went the other end. But yeah, look, it's still smart fielding, and that's the experience. I mean, it wasn't the best throw, but it still got the job done, didn't it?
Got it to the keeper. That's all he had to do. 1 to come. And 7 runs to Hines. Flat shot just through Clive Rose there on the 3 line. And that does a little bit of damage to some otherwise fantastic figures from Lachlan King. 5 for -11.
That's very impressive.
And I think the key thing for me from those 2 overs were the opportunities that were created. So 4 of those 5 wickets were run-outs.
Yep.
So bringing his field into the game,
yep.
And it's part of the reason why in indoor cricket the run-out is credited to the bowler. You are creating that opportunity. He's done a fantastic job. 5 wickets for his team in a final, a sudden death final.
Oh, look, that's exactly right, Cam. He's put a bit of pressure on, and you know, you've got to have good fielders to help deliver, which they do, and they have. The Vics have been pretty sharp in the field, as we talked about earlier as well. So
now Lamaya is bowling his second over, starts with a wide. It being the last over of the pair, they can have that re-bowled. I can tell you that Queensland are on 15 after 8 overs in pursuit of 80 against the ACT. Lamaya continues. That game, of course, available to stream live on the Cricket Australia Indoor YouTube channel, so feel free to flick over to that game and then come back to us. No run. Hines flirting with stealing one. It will be third ball now.
Third ball opportunity.
It means if you're not that familiar with indoor, the score has to change on this delivery. Good shot from Isherwood. It will just be the single. It safely sees off third ball.
Oh, yeah, 2 balls remaining. 22 for the skin, although the skin scores aren't relevant here in a final. Oh.
And like, let's be honest, I mean, that's a ridiculous shot from Hines, but again, an indication he's probably conceded the game.
Probably good and outdoor. That's probably going a fair way, that one. But yeah, not effective here.
Yep.
Problem with those sort of shots is that's where it can hurt a fielder, and we don't want to see that.
Yeah. I wouldn't be that impressed with that if I was Justin Perkins fielding at leg side there. There are 2 runs to finish, so 26 for the pair. Not a bad partnership, but again, in the context of this game, just isn't enough. And, well, 81 runs required from the final pair.
If they do that, it'll be a highlights reel. It'll be played for many years to come, won't it? But it is too hard.
Bit of picture-in-picture action going on. You can see Queensland there taking on the ACT in the major semi-final.
Jeremy Crichton and Adam McDermott batting.
And of course, the winner of that game will advance straight through to the final. The loser of that game will take on what's becoming quite clear, Victoria, the winner of this match, later tonight, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So the final pair for New South Wales, Luke Webb and Logan Whitelaw.
Be interesting to see their method here. Juddy Perkins bowling. It's hard to take much out of that first ball, really. Like, it was hit a bit flat, but it wasn't an overly aggressive shot. He made good contact. Yeah, I think they've conceded here, and probably rightfully so. Like, other than maybe the occasional low-grade in-house game on a Tuesday or a Wednesday night, you wouldn't see too many 80s.
No. Big go. It would have been 2004, I think, in the under-18s division. The ACT needed 80 runs to win a minor semi, so very similar, and got 77 in the last pair. Now that was some cowboy cricket, that was.
It would have been entertaining to watch.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any of that in the men's division.
No.
So third ball now, 2 to come in the over, but third ball here, the score, again, it has to change. Webb on strike.
Oh, it's
hit straight into the chest.
Actually, I said that's a chance, but that would have been a sensational catch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It would have been self-preservation more than anything else.
Part of the role there is just getting away the ball, so he's done that. Keeps it to 1.
Nice little paddle. Just seems like it's dropped a degree or 2 here. This is the Queenslander coming out of me.
Look, Moggy, I'm not going to lie, I'm from Canberra, and I'm cold right now. But such is life. It is winter in Australia. Down here in Victoria, in a big tin shed here at Casey.
Remember last time we were here a couple of years ago, it was freezing cold. I think as the night progresses, it's only going to get worse.
Well, one of the many, many bad things about COVID is that in the intervening years, I forgot how cold it got last time, so I don't know that I'm adequately prepared. Here's Kieran Perkins.
Might have to go see if a few of the teams have got some hot hands to warm their hands up.
Yeah. Look, this is obviously not as close a game as New South Wales would have liked, but they've enjoyed a strong tournament, Moggy. They've been competitive.
Yeah.
And I certainly wouldn't want the margin in this final game to reflect.
No, it's been good.
Yeah.
I mean, Queensland obviously winning all the games they've played, but it's been a pretty good competition. It hasn't been, massive blowouts. I mean, I know Tasmania are pretty new to this, but I think they would have gained a lot of experience from being here, and they'll take a lot out of it. They're probably the team to take the most out of this sort of tournament, seeing how these guys operate from the other states and what they need to aim for and work towards. And I know there's some good things in place down there in Tasmania, and I'm sure they'll grow. It's an aggressive shot.
Well fielded by Kieran Perkins in the end.
But yeah, there hasn't been a massive amount between the teams. There really hasn't. WA probably a little unlucky not to get through.
Missed out by a single point.
It was very close.
But, I mean, in terms of a good piece of fielding, but Webb is safe. New South Wales, 10 games, 5 wins, 5 losses prior to this match. So, again, competitive.
Yeah.
They did beat Victoria in one of those, one of the 2 previous encounters. So.
And look, they finished mid-range on the table. Of the 6 teams, they finished 3rd with a score of 5-5. So just shows how close the competition has been in general. It's just a good advertisement of indoor cricket at this level.
And I think, what does it say about Victoria? They're big game players, right? They've lost one of the games to New South Wales. They actually finished below them on the ladder. They just did what they had to do to make finals. Here they are, and they've just put on this absolutely comprehensive performance to blow New South Wales away.
I think the key is, I know it's been a few years, but over the sort of 3 years preceding that, they've played a lot of finals over those years.
Yes.
So they've got that experience in the big game, and that's something New South Wales will take out of it. They've got a few new players here that we haven't seen in the past, and they'll learn a lot from this experience. And hopefully they'll come back next year bigger and better and have that extra game of finals experience behind them.
It's over pitched and sent into the back court for 5.
So at the start, we talked about a score of 80 being a very competitive score.
And New South Wales will eclipse that.
Exactly. I think maybe just missed a trick early in the game, not trying to put a bit of pressure on early.
Well, yeah, we talked about that during their fielding innings. That it seemed that they were quiet. Being loud isn't necessarily always an indicator of focus or energy, but there were other indicators. Okay, so they only took 1 wicket. I didn't see a lot of them getting around each other and supporting each other. As we see 3rd ball, that'll be 5. And they paid the price. It allowed Victoria to build pretty impressive score in the first 3 pairs, which, when you add 46 to it from the final pair, is a devastating total. Yeah, they really capitalised at the back end. And perhaps, again, we talked about under the coaching of Nathan Rennie that he's a very casual, relaxed kind of guy, but I think sometimes you've got to get yourself into the game. And at this level, just having that little bit of feeling out there and really getting behind each other, supporting each other. And sometimes things aren't going your way. You've almost got to make something happen. Yeah.
And that can be having high energy or a good touch in the field or something like that. And I think that's maybe where New South Wales have missed a trick. They take nothing away from Victoria. Victoria have played a fantastic game at
Absolutely.
cricket.
Clinical.
Yeah, and it puts them in good stead. We've got 2 of the other states, ACT and Queensland, going at each other at the moment. One team's going to be a little bit down and flat from that, but they should take note.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's always interesting to see the preliminary final, which we will see here later tonight. You've got a team that's won the minor semi against a team that has lost the major semi. And ordinarily, in the normal course of events, you would think that the team coming out of the major semi would be the favourite. But one's on the up, one's on the down.
Exactly, momentum.
Yep. McDougall is bowling the final over of the match. I think everybody is well and truly in cruise control here. Victoria are already starting to think about that next game. New South Wales, their tournament is about to end.
And again, look, New South Wales have had a gallant performance throughout the week. They've been particularly good. Probably a little bit to learn from this, like we talked about.
There's a wicket.
They'll take a lot out of this experience, I think. And they'll learn from that. Again, there's a few sort of new, younger faces there, so this experience of this week-long cricket at this level will hopefully develop their game. And I think they'll come back bigger and better for it in the future, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Queensland on 33 with 2 balls remaining in the third pair in pursuit of 80. So that will need a solid effort from them. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Victoria have advanced to the preliminary final with a clinical victory here over New South Wales in the minor semi. 135, the equal highest total in the entire tournament versus 82. A fantastic performance from Victoria. Disappointment for New South Wales. They won't be happy with the amount of runs they let Victoria score, and their tournament has ended with that disappointment. But they've lots to be proud of, as we said, Moggy. I'll just update you again. It looks at this moment as if ACT are in the box seat in the other game that will determine Victoria's opponent.
Adam McDermott just hit a 7.
Yeah, but Queensland are well and truly not out of it, so don't hesitate to flick over to the other channel to see the end of that game.
Jaden Teskey and Reece Dean is to come in batting last by the looks of it.
But for now, ladies and gentlemen, our congratulations once again to Victoria. Commiserations to New South Wales. Do stay with us throughout the afternoon. More fantastic indoor cricket action coming to you live from Casey Stadium. Until then, Moggy, thank you again for your company.
That's right, I'll be back.
Absolutely. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for yours. Stay tuned. But until next time, I'm Cameron Walter. Thanks for watching. Great piece of fielding.
Got him, Newbioti. One for the leg spinner.
Leg stump finds a gap. Can he hit the stumps? Oh, I reckon he was out. That'll do.